Crash.
Oh, I let you down today. I was so focused on my hair that I forgot to do a move.
That's okay. So I understand your hair is your helmet right today. So
I'm
welcome
sorry.
everyone. Welcome everyone to the Saturday brunch edition of No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We're proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the co-hosts. To my right is a man who will put whatever he damn pleases on his hot dog because he's a grown man. Dustin Henry. Dustin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. As always, I'm a little tired. I want to be a morning guy, Ryan, but I don't think I'm ever going to get there. I'm 42 years old. I thought it was going to happen. I got a bunch of stuff to do outside after my haircut. That's right. For all you cred heads who watch the show, when my hair's down like this, it means I'm getting a haircut. So I will look different on Tuesday. But I got a lot of things to do. I got weeds out there. I got to mow the lawn. I've put some things off, and be happy to know an update on my collapsed picnic table. I have scheduled a heavy item pickup day where I live, and I will be out there disassembling the rest of the collapsed picnic table to finally get rid of it. So with all that being said, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. Unlike my co-host, I am a morning person. That is my chronotype. Big word. Look it up.
All right.
It's my chronotype as a morning person. Great week this week. I don't know if you can see in the background. I have a new wear in the fact that I got my autograph photo of Sauce Gardner that I won from the Jake Asman show on Thursday, and it already came in the mail yesterday. So it was UPS me over UPS from New York City, from somewhere in New York City in Manhattan. And I received it yesterday while I was recording Total Football Talk with our guy Drew. So,
D. Willie.
Yeah, D. Willie.
Got to get D. Willie back on the show at some point.
Oh yeah. We've been given an invite to In or Out Sports Debate as well. So that's gonna be coming back very, very soon. I'm pretty excited about that. So we're looking forward to that. We're gonna bring in our boy of summer, Kevin Wilson, in just a moment. But we're just gonna talk about Major League Baseball. Then we're gonna talk about NFL news and notes. We had some things go on this week that we would just later in the week that we wanted to address. We'll also talk about hot food takes. Get your sweet tooth ready, and we'll also talk about our favorite athletes to wear the number 53. But before we do that, we just want to remind you about our social medias. Go ahead and follow us on our social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required, and also check out our other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, after the show on our YouTube page and on Podbean. And also hit that notification bell both on YouTube and on Twitter, just so you know when you're notified, just so you know that you're notified about when we go live, when we do have clips come up, when we do shorts, when we do show announcements, when we make funny memes about the world. Hopefully you don't go to any Coldplay concerts soon there, Dustin.
We got into that last night.
Oh man.
Everybody, the internet is roasting these people. It's great.
They are. In a way, I feel sorry for them, but in a way, it's laughable because you got caught.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, and somebody brought up a good point. They're like, if they had just not reacted, it probably wouldn't have gone viral. Like, they probably would have been okay, but they reacted because they knew they were doing something wrong.
Yeah, for sure. But we are live today on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. This will be available on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel a little bit later today or tomorrow, depending on if we have any other videos go up today. And we're also on the Belly Up Sports X Twitter channel today. So you can check us out there. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And also rate and review. 5-star rating would be helpful on the podcast side. Leave a review where you can, whether it be on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Podchaser. Also leave a comment. We are having a little bit of trouble with our Spotify link. I'm not sure what's going on, but since we migrated to Podbean, I'm not sure what's going on with the migration there. But once we'll get back up and running with the Spotify, leave a comment. You can do that. And also, we're a live show Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, although we got a little bit late start today. That's on me.
And me.
That's okay. And Kevin. We'll just say that just because. But we are live show Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern for the Saturday brunch. We're also live on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern and the occasional Fridays for happy hour edition at 8 p.m. Eastern. Grab a beer, grab a beverage of your choice, and join us then. We'll talk about sports. But Dustin, I know I know you're not a morning person, but this noise always seems to get you up and going.
Oh, it perks me right up. I'm always up for chime time.
Yeah. All right, we're going to bring in our boy of summer. He is one of the wise men for our Belly Up Sports fantasy sports channel. He does baseball, he does football. Don't ask him to do basketball or hockey. Definitely don't ask him to do soccer. He's our boy of summer.
Well, you could ask me to do basketball and hockey. I'm down for that.
Right, so. All right, but not soccer.
Soccer's not happening. Golf not happening. Tennis not happening.
No, that's a shame.
Golf is my favorite. Tune in for my golfing podcast. Dustin's Drive. No,
man, you had me going there, Dustin. I was ready to tune in.
Dustin putts. He plays Lee Trevino's power putter.
Oh man, you've selected Power Drive.
But as described in the in our live stream description, this show will be about baseball and more baseball and some NFL too. We'll talk about that after we talk about baseball. But Kevin's our resident boy of summer, and we had some things go on this week, particularly in the All-Star realm, that we want to get some of his thoughts on. Kevin is a traditionalist to an extent, so I'm pretty sure he's got some feelings about what happened on Tuesday. What do you think of the home run derby? First off.
Well, I thought that first, I know everybody wants to hear about all the technology and launch angles and miles per hour and everything else, but I thought, well, you can't see where the ball is landing. And so I was really out on that. And you had to take their word for it that it was out of it was a home run. So I didn't think a whole lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
And, but everything else, it was a home run derby, and Cal Raleigh certainly delivered. And so I was okay with everything else except for this. It's like you're watching a video game and you couldn't just see where the ball was going. So I was not down with that at all.
All right. So mixed feelings, so to speak. Mixed feelings.
Yes, absolutely on that.
And Ryan and I talked about it a little bit on Tuesday's show, so I don't want to rehash too much, but it was compounded with the fact that some of the ESPN commentators would be like, "Oh, this is a moonshot," and then it doesn't go out of the park. That made it worse. It was like Yankees legend, and I love him. He's the voice I grew up with. He gets a lot of hate, but John Sterling, he used to do that. He used to go, "It is high, it is far, it is caught at the track." And it's like, come on, John. You're getting us all fired up. We're thinking it's going.
We got a comment in the comment section from James, one of our cred heads, says, "Morning, friends. Can't go wrong with some Lee Carvalho's putting challenge." Hey, James, buy me Bone Storm or go to hell.
Oh, man. Peak reference. Reference.
We're all about the references this morning.
That's
all right. So Dustin, I want to have you lead off. You said when we text back and forth about what we want to talk about with Kevin, you always bring up a topic, and I'm going to have you lead off with your topic. Your chosen topic for our Saturdays with Kevin.
Well, we went with we've just come out of the All-Star break, and Kevin follows baseball much more than we do. He is a baseball expert, I would dare say. Go read his articles. But I wanted to pick your brain, Kevin, because usually I feel like most seasons there's always a team that comes on strong in the second half to make a surge. And you didn't see them coming. They might have done well in the first half, or they might have even scuffled a little bit in the first half. But for some reason, some teams come out in the second half, they catch fire. I mean, look at the Detroit Tigers last year. They were sellers at the trade deadline. Then they caught fire. Do you think that there is a team that is primed for a second half playoff push?
Well, I think there's one team that's right there in front of them, and that's the Seattle Mariners. Because they've got the Houston Astros this weekend. And, of course, Houston's in first place in their division. They beat them last night. Then right after that, they've got the Milwaukee Brewers, who are as hot as anyone out there. And then for the rest of July, they have their divisional opponents that they're going to be playing, the Athletics and the Angels. And so if they can get through the 6-game stretch and be strong against these teams, and then because AOS, the also rans are not, they're also rans. So if they could take that and get into August and be right on the heels of the Astros, they've got this going on for them. Of course, they got the big dumper out there. I've always liked their pitching staff. And so they are primed. And if they don't get there, it's their own, of their own device, because, like I said, the schedule sets up for them. And so I'm really interested to see what the Mariners do over the next, 3 weeks or so, and see where they are standing at that point.
I mean, I think, and we'll get Ryan's thoughts in a second to see what he thinks, but I think you could be right, and you would know better than me because you broke down the schedule and everything. But my only worry, I do like the Mariners pitching staff as well, but I don't think Logan Gilbert, something's going on. Something's going on with him. He's come back. He hasn't looked the same. And I'm probably only saying this because he's on my fantasy team. I drafted him to be my ace. But he's been out with injuries. Then he comes back. He still doesn't look good. And Bryce Miller is supposed to be coming back at some point. I think he's going to be starting a rehab assignment shortly. But do you think, because I'm worried, first of all, Logan Gilbert doesn't look like he has in the past. And Bryce Miller also, there was clearly something wrong with him. So do you think that do they have to be the linchpins to get their pitching staff going, or are there other arms that you believe in on the Mariners there?
Well, last year, the Mariners, their pitching staff was completely healthy. And so this year, it's a little bit different. And I think that if you're going to give some kind of, secondary chances to, or whatever the term is right there, that, you can believe in, the Mariners know what they're doing with their pitchers. So I think you're right. Logan Gilbert has not looked anywhere close to what he was a year ago. But I'll cast my belief on him. Bryce Miller, we really haven't seen a whole lot of him so far, so we don't know what he's going to be. But we know in the past he's been solid, and so the Mariners have always pitched well. The hitting side has been the issue, but we saw just last weekend they lit up the Detroit Tigers like nobody's business in Detroit. And if they can come anywhere close to that kind of offense, I don't think they will the whole season. That's not going to happen. But if they can have a decent to better offense, they'll have it all.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, if Seattle can somehow try to catch Houston, because they got to that lead in the AL West, and Houston has caught up to them and surpassed them. And what's the lead now? 6 games? If I'm not mistaken.
Live research.
Real-time research. 4 games. I'm sorry, 4 games.
Oh, 4 games.
Okay, so they could be just 2 back if they swept them by Monday. I don't trying to sweep Houston, but Houston, after they won, they swept the Dodgers. What happened? They went home and got swept by Cleveland somehow, coming out of a 10-game losing streak.
How did that happen?
That's what I'm saying. Anytime you're asking how did this happen, the answer is always, well, that's baseball.
Because that's baseball, Susan.
Thank you. I was going to do it, but I was drinking my coffee.
So they could do that if they come out of this and they're 2 back, and then they take down Milwaukee 2 out of 3, let's say. Then they get to play the Angels and the Athletics and all that. It's right there for them.
1420 Sports Bar Podcast. Brent has reposted our stream because we're on Belly Up Sports today. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate you.
Thank you very
much. Friend of the show, Dan Cruz, saying Houston has been up and down mostly. Seattle's been the same, but it's worse because of the offense. Yeah, I mean, right now your offense, and let's see if the rest of the lineup can pick it up. Your offense has been pretty much been predicated on Cal Raleigh. And I won't repeat his nickname because Dustin's sick of hearing from it about it.
No, it's okay. It was just the ESPN announcers that were really just hammer it in there.
They're using the hard. Never mind. Mr. Cruz also says, "I've been slacking on my consumption. How dare you? Have you guys discussed the Ronald Acuna trade?" Yes, and I have sources from in Atlanta that say that's complete crap.
I'm sorry.
It is. I mean, Clutch Points ran with the story that Seattle was trying to bring in Ronald Acuna, and one of my truly good friends. I asked him because he lives in Atlanta. I went to his wedding. I asked him.
Hopefully, you know him if you go to his wedding. I'm just saying.
Oh, of course. I mean, I've been friends with him for over 20 years. But I did ask him, and also from other Atlanta Braves friends in the chat who are more local here, but they've been Braves fans forever. I said, have you guys heard about the truth about Ronald Acuna being traded to Seattle? And two friends have said no. I haven't paid enough attention to realize that he's being traded. And my friend in Atlanta said it's complete bull crap because they're just looking for clicks and such, and they want to build around Ronald Acuna because they realize he's cheap. Hey, right now he's cheap. He's got a cheap contract compared to a lot of other superstars in the league, and he's just coming off his ACL injury, so he's still getting kind of used to being back in the lineup. Plus,
right. And did you see that throw he made from right field yesterday, the third base? It's one of the greatest throws ever, and Atlanta would riot if the Braves were to trade him, I would say.
But to complete my point, he did say that he's under contract until I think he said 2027. So they want to build a team around him. Like they tried to build it around Cub Swanson until he went to Chicago.
Yeah, Dansby Swanson. Yeah.
But he was 30 years old or whatever by then. So,
but they realized Ronald Acuna is the guy we need to build around.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Cruz, that rumor about Acuna being traded to the Mariners has been debunked.
Yeah. and hopefully, because Seattle, I've never really understood why they don't pursue some hitters a little more than they have. And maybe they'll do that this year, and let's cash them in, and let's because Seattle needs some good credibility up there because they're the only team that's never even been to a World Series, let alone win one.
Okay,
and so
the details of Ronald Acuna's contract. He's actually they have two club options. The Braves have two club options through 2028. And then there's a UFA in 2029. So they want to try to build around him. And again, on the cheap, 17 mil.
Yeah.
On the cheap.
Okay.
For someone of Acuna's talent, I think that's a bargain, especially when you consider people are saying, oh, he's coming back from the ACL injury. Yes, precisely. He's coming back from the ACL injury.
Right. And he hit the first pitch he saw for a home run.
Yep. That's what I was going to say. He still looks good. And most injury experts will tell you, and I'm not one, but I've listened to a lot of Stefania Bell. It takes some time for ACL injuries to fully heal. So imagine what he's going to be like when next year when he's
the year before last year, you saw what he's capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was his MVP season.
Oh yeah.
And so he's easily top 5 talents in baseball to me.
Mr. Cruz says, yes, disappointment, just like most of my relationship history. Dude, you're engaged. Shut up.
That's right.
You got a good one now.
Yeah. You gotta rewind that.
Yeah, right. He also says the Mariners won't trade for anyone for a hitter because John Stanton, the Mariners owner, is a cheapo.
Cheapest owner in sports. We should do a topic one show.
Oh, John Fisher is saying, "Hold my beer."
Anyway, he just made the list.
He just. I gotta find it.
You have the drop.
Now I gotta play the element.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where the hell is it? Oh, come on. Where is it?
Did I do it just so I could laugh? Probably.
Yeah, probably. Oh, here it is.
You just made the list! Oh my gosh.
It was here somewhere. Oh, and James asked, but is he Harold Ballard cheap? No, no one can be Harold cheap. Never. Ever. Never. Never. Never, ever. Anyway, back to baseball. So we talked about the All-Star game. We talked about the home run derby. We talked about which team is going to hopefully come out. Hopefully, but which team is primed for a strong second half. But I also want to talk about the swing off. And we had the All-Star game on Tuesday. National League races to a 6-0 lead. The American League comes back and ties the game, but as opposed to going to, I guess, extra innings, we decide to go to basically the baseball equivalent of a shootout, and that is the swing off, as you can see in my tagline. Kevin, as a I would say a traditionalist to an extent, what was your feeling about this new wrinkle to decide the winner of the All-Star game?
Well, if the American League hadn't rallied and tied the game, I would not know anything to this minute about a swing off, because I hadn't heard anybody discuss that at all before the game, and I was fine with it.
Okay.
In the All-Star game, I thought that was very, you don't want to burn out anybody's pitchers or any of that, and you certainly don't want to be a tie game. That was a nightmarish that still going on up there in Milwaukee. But so I was fine with it until they started to talk about, well, maybe we should integrate this into the regular season, at which point I said, hell no.
No, you've already got a system.
Right. And so we already got this ghost runner thing, which I absolutely abhor. And so in All-Star games, I'm fine with that. But please put the brakes on this nonsense about doing it in the regular season. And as I've heard this in more than one place, since they were even talking about it on ESPN. Of course, ESPN was talking about this, but
of course they were.
Yeah, and that's just pure, unadulterated nonsense that we need to put the cap on that right here, right now, so that the regular season doesn't even try that. And as long as it's in the All-Star game, I'm cool with it.
Okay. Dustin, what do you think about the swing off?
I'm kind of with Kevin on this one. I think it's a great thing for the All-Star game. It's something that makes it a little fun, a little different, brings it to, brings a little levity and fun to the All-Star game, because you and I have talked extensively how we think the All-Star game is one of the worst, of the major All-Star weekend things. The only thing worse, I think, is what we've said is football. I mean, the All-Star games themselves. In the NBA, no defense. In the Pro Bowl, don't get me started. I amend my statement. The Pro Bowl is the worst one. Okay, but so I like this new dimension to the All-Star game. But I'm with Kevin. If it was in the regular season, I wouldn't like ending games with a swing off, because that just feels crazy to me. But Ryan, I want to get your thoughts. Did you see people criticizing Aaron Boone's swing off lineup?
I saw Frank the Tank's tweet. He's like, Aaron Boone should be fired for leaving Cal Raleigh off the lineup. I'm like, if Frank the Tank, who's a Mets fan, says Aaron Boone should be fired for that, yeah, Aaron Boone deserves to be fired.
If that one's probably gets him fired, I don't know what to tell you, because he's given ammunition in other places. But
should have left him at the tarmac of Latoya Jackson International Spaceport.
There are so many. Like I get it. There are always going to be Yankee fans. There's a contingent of Yankee fans, and I feel like there's probably Dodgers fans who clamor for Dave Roberts to be
They've
fired
been
all the
clamoring
time.
for him to get fired since 2017. It seems.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like there's always sections of fans of teams who, no matter who the manager is, they want him to get fired all the time. But the level of vitriol that Yankee fans have for Aaron Boone is like it's next level. And the thing is, Boone's given him plenty of ammunition, but yet he's like Lazarus, or Lazarus. He keeps coming back. He keeps coming back.
That's because there's no George Steinbrenner up there. As you know, George Steinbrenner would have had about 5 managers by now.
Yeah. Ryan talked about that. He mentioned how George would not stand for this, but maybe that's a topic for another day. Potential Yankee managers if something happens.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I've got some thoughts about who could be the next manager of the team, but that's another podcast. Mr. Cruz saying, replying to James saying, is he Harold Ballard cheap? And Mr. Cruz says, no, because Harold Ballard is dead. Yes, he's been dead since 1990, and Maple Leafs fans are rejoicing, even though they haven't won a cup since 1957. And James says, don't look at me. My vendetta is against Cashman. He's part of the blame, but he's not entirely to blame. For this lineup and for the way that Aaron Boone manages things, which is right now is done with a Ouija board and a magic 8 ball, from what it seems. All right, so our last topic before we let Kevin enjoy the rest of his weekend. Tony Clark and Rob Manfred didn't have a head-to-head, but they had kind of a commenting back and forth in regards to the CBA, which is up at the end of the season.
Next season.
Next season. Sorry, my bad. Next season. It's up at the end of next season, at the end of 2026. And they were both asked about salary cap in baseball. And Manfred says that, fans are concerned about the salary cap, about no salary cap because this doesn't keep things competitive. Well, Tony Clark, president of the Major League Baseball Players Association, had this to say when it came to the salary cap. And he said, and I quote, this is from the ESPN article by Jorge Castillo, said, quote, a cap is not about any partnership. A cap is not about growing the game. That's not what a cap is about. As has been offered publicly, a cap is about franchise values and profits. That's what a cap is about. If there are ways that we need to improve the existing system to polish up some of the rough edges that otherwise exist, we have made proposals to do that. We will continue to make proposals to do that and believe that is the best way to go. That's just one quote from him.
Yeah. He also
went on to call it institutionalized collusion, which caught me kind of dead sideways. So let's talk about Tony Clark's comments. I don't know how to describe these kind of comments, but I want to start with our boy of summer. Since he's our baseball enthusiast. I'm old enough to remember the strike of 1994 when the season got cut off short.
Yeah,
I'm old enough to remember what happened in 2020 when we almost didn't have a season because of Uncle Melvin visiting the world, and how they're bitching back and forth almost cost the 2020 season. It was an abbreviated season, but it was still a season. But the back and forth between the PA and the owners trying to find a way to get baseball players paid. The owners and the Players Association, they've never really had a cooperative effort. They've never been really cozy together. So, Kevin, I want to get your thoughts about Mr. Clark's comment and what you think the PA and the owners need to do to try to save Major League Baseball from 2027 onward.
Well, I think that when it comes to the players are never going to agree to a salary cap, and you can boil Tony's comments down to 2 words: hell no.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there. And to be quite frank about it, there's no need. I've heard arguments. One of my friends is really down on baseball because it doesn't have a salary cap. I don't think it needs one. They need a salary floor more than they need a salary cap.
Thank you.
Okay, because you've got
Saying that for a long time.
That's right. You got Exhibit A over here of the Pittsburgh Pirates, who get all this money coming in from the revenue sharing, and all you hear out of them is how fast can we trade? I can't believe his name just escaped my mind.
Oh, no,
Mr. Skeens. Okay,
Paul Skeens. Right.
Paul Skeens. How fast can we trade him before he has to get paid? And so that's what they need to look at. If they talk about a salary floor, I'm sure the players would probably get behind that. And because they've already, the Dodgers are, shot through the stratosphere, but they're going to have to pay a gigantic amount of money in the tax code or whatever you want to call that.
Luxury tax.
Luxury tax. And so that levels the playing field. And there are certain teams that just don't care, like the Dodgers don't care, the Yankees don't care, the Mets don't care how much they have to pay because they're trying to win games. And just baseball management side needs to get off of this salary cap thing because it's just not going to happen. And you're going to torch the whole sport to the ground on something that the players, won't agree to. And so if you're Tony Clark, what else are you going to say besides hell no? And all the players, I think, are behind him on this one. And if we have to think about it, because out of all the sports, baseball's union is by far the most powerful.
It's the strongest.
It's probably one of the most powerful unions in America, period.
Yep.
And why do we have these strikes? Because Baseball Players Association won't give ground. And the owners are making money. It's just like, can we sing Kumbaya a little bit and get this there? It's still almost a year and a half away. They can get this agreed to, and but it's probably going to go down to the last minute. So we'll see what happens. But there's zero chance the players are going to agree with it.
All right, I'm gonna get my feelings from my co-host here. What's your thoughts about this quote from Tony Clark?
Okay, so first of all, I agree with both of you. I think a salary floor is the solution because you've both at different times laid out eloquently why we need one. The Pirates are a perfect example. Who did they extend, Ryan? You picked him in the battle of the Brian. They extend Brian Reynolds, but Kevin's right. They're going to trade Paul Skeens as fast as possible. They did it with Garrett Cole. They'll probably look to move O'Neal Cruz when he commands big money. So it is annoying. However, where I have a problem with Tony Clark's comments, because I'm going to jump in and kind of say I do have a problem with Clark's comments. I realize that he's basically saying no. He's just saying emphatically no. But when he calls a salary cap collusion, how come every other league has one, Tony? How come every other league has a salary cap? It's not like it's some illegal practice or, like the SEC is going to come crashing down. I realize that he's kind of in a rock and a hard place and the players will never agree to it. But to call it collusion when every other league has a salary cap is ridiculous. And there are a lot of problems with the NFL. But one of the things that you cannot argue is the parity in the NFL is ridiculous.
Yep.
They do it best. I don't think it's fully because of the salary cap. It's also because of how the draft works. It's a myriad of other factors. And also football teams have, even the smaller football teams, smaller market, quote unquote, have a ton of revenue because football is just a cash cow. It's number one and it's not even close. But where I have a problem is when Tony Clark is like, it's collusion. Every other league has one. And shout out to, if you're watching, I doubt you are, Matt Cannon, but we had to make political cartoons in 6th grade. And I still remember My teacher, Mrs. Madrazo at the time, she said, "Oh, you're gonna do political cartoons." And Matt Cannon, he drew a bunch of baseball players with celery on their heads, and he said, "What's with these celery caps?" That that was next level. So shout out to you, Matt Cannon. I still remember that, and that was like 5th or 6th grade. Okay, so you did a great job with that one.
Celery caps. Nice. So I was reading a little bit more of the article, and it tells about which teams are spending the most money. And as Kevin mentioned, the Dodgers are projected to spend approximately $563 million on payroll and luxury taxes this year, followed by the Mets, followed by the Yankees, and the Phillies. Meanwhile, 10 clubs are projected to spend less than $150 million, with the White Sox $90.9 million and Marlins $84.7 million at the bottom. So yeah, you got it. We talked about this, about especially in baseball. Scared money don't make money. Scared money doesn't compete. Scared money doesn't win games. And the Dodgers are proving it. The Mets in a way are proving it. The Yankees, to an extent, are proving it, and the Phillies, to an extent, are proving it.
Yeah, I was going to say the Phillies are up there.
The Phillies are right behind the Yankees in spending and luxury tax. And you see the luxury tax going down to the other teams who don't spend a lot of money, but what are they doing it? Are they investing in players? Are they investing in development? No, they're pocketing it.
That's right. And that's my biggest gripe about that whole system. And another example I could give is the Colorado Rockies, who have 37,000 fans in every home game, and yet they won't spend any money. So what would a salary cap mean to the Colorado Rockies? Because they're not going to be anywhere near it to begin with. And what do they give their fans? Absolutely nothing.
A 70-plus loss team. That's what they're giving them right now.
That's right.
Well, they're giving me a bag of coffee too.
Shut up, Dustin.
But and also,
I'm gonna take the Rockies, but I let you have the lead, and I'm like,
I know.
I picked the Colorado Rockies. Damn.
I know. Well, and you're a man of principle, because you're like, I'm not going to pick the White Sox again. That would be too easy. So you made it harder for yourself.
I did.
And the Blue Jays used that as motivation to the whole city of Toronto.
I'm not going to Toronto anytime soon anyway. Besides, I've never been to Toronto, but I also enjoy Montreal more. So I'm going to say that. The whole, this is going to be a mess. This is going to be a fight to the finish. And I got to say this, we talked about baseball, but I want to heap some praise onto a man who I don't think gets enough praise, and that is Gary Bettman, commissioner of the National Hockey League, because they have labor peace through 2030. And he got proactive during the pandemic, during Uncle Melvin time, and went to the Players Association and said, listen, it's a tough situation right now. It's not any hockey being played. Let's hammer out a deal. Let's get some labor peace in here for at least another 6 years. And then he got proactive again this year and said, all right, let's have some more. Let's have some more labor peace. And they're all the way to 2030. So at first, Bettman is the most hated man early in his iteration.
He was the most hated man in probably, North America.
Canada. But for sure.
Okay, Canada. For sure. Okay, Canada, I can see that. Sure. I can see that.
But at least there's going to be hockey played for the next 5 years, at least. With no cancellations, no interruptions. We lost the season in 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
And we had a mini lockout in 2012. And I'm sure he wants to avoid all this mess again, so he's doing his best. Unlike some other commissioners, doing his best to make sure that their sport gets played. All right, Kevin, we're going to let you go, but before we do that, we just want to let you promote your stuff and also give us your favorite athlete to number 53.
Okay, so, baseball and everything, and number 53, as you mentioned, Dustin, was a pretty hard row to hoe, but my guy that I came up with is a pitcher who pitched for the Anaheim Angels. I won't say Los Angeles. I'm not going to get into that nonsense, but his name is Brendan Donnelly. and he was a relief pitcher. And when he was a rookie, he was one of the guys who was fundamental behind the Angels beating the Giants and Barry Bonds in the World Series. And so anybody that could take down Barry Bonds gets high praise in my book. And he was an all-star the next season. And so he was a very successful relief pitcher. And so he gets my vote. All I needed to know was he stopped Barry Bonds. That was good enough for me. And so he's my selection. And you can, of course, go to the Belly Up Sports website. I dropped an article just yesterday talking about baseball. I awarded my players who I thought were the fantasy MVP, the fantasy Cy Young, the fantasy rookie, and the least valuable player. So you can get that there. And of course, if you go up to the Belly Up YouTube page, Dustin and I were on the Seahawks sessions. We talked all kinds of things over there. And we took a week off from the Belly Up baseball show. We'll be back tomorrow night, though, Vince and I. And then Tuesday night is the Belly Up Fantasy Live football show. And so I'm out there. Just check me out on Twitter at Kevin62 WILFCA. So I'm out there. Come check me out.
All right. Kevin Wilson, our Saturdays with Kevin segment, where we talk about all things baseball. We want to thank you for joining us here today, this morning. We appreciate your time, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, sir.
I appreciate you guys having me come on. It's always a pleasure.
All right. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about NFL news and notes, hot food takes, and Dustin and mine's favorite number 53. So stick around, stand by, and stay tuned for more No Credentials Required. This episode of No Credentials Required is brought to you by Invader Coffee. For the coffee lover who wants good, quality coffee with no bullshit and no filler, Invader Coffee is an ultra-premium, veteran-owned coffee company proudly delivering only the best coffee your hard-earned money can buy. They aim to only serve the highest quality, organic, air-roasted coffee beans sourced from free trade farms all over the world. They keep things simple. The best coffee at an affordable price in order to provide you with the value you deserve for your morning boost. 100% fair trade, 100% organic coffee beans, 100% air-roasted, 100% money-back guarantee. Visit invadercoffee.com, enter promo code BELLYUP at checkout, and receive 15% off your order. That's right, folks. Invader Coffee. They have some of the best coffee that your hard-earned money can buy. Also makes a dang good cold brew. I got their Black Heart dark roast, original dark roast, which, look, it's already air roasted, so it takes all the acidity out. And what cold brew does is that it takes out all the acidity, but Invader Coffee already takes out the acidity. So your cold brew, if you make your own cold brew, especially with the Black Heart dark blend, it'll be even smoother. Will be an even smoother cold brew. And they also got their own cold brew as well. So they can buy them. You can buy the cold brew in cans. You can buy them individually. You can also buy a pack of 12, a case of 12. But they got their other blends. They got their seasonal blends that come out every year. They recently just released Bad Santa for Christmas in July, which I missed out of, and I'm still mad about it because I never got a chance. Oh! Dustin has some breaking news.
Thanks to Invader and their email alerts, I wanted to tell you, Ryan, Bad Santa is back in stock.
Yes.
They said Bad Santa returns. So if you don't get one after the show, guess who ordered some Invader coffee blends? I ordered a Bad Santa as a backup. If you don't get one is on the way to me. I will give it to you, sir.
I'm ordering it right now. I'm ordering it right now.
There it is. It is back in stock. So sign up. If you find a flavor that you love, sign up for their email alerts because they are on it. They will tell you when things are back in stock. And I ran to get some Bad Santa yesterday, and I also re-upped the Invader blend, the blend that started it all. I have talked extensively about how much I have rediscovered my love for this blend. This was the first blend I tried when even predating my time on the show, Ryan turned me on to Invader Coffee. That was the first blend I tried. And then I went down the rabbit hole and tried a bunch of other blends. But now I am back. The original is in my cup this morning. I'm running low on it, so I re-upped it. I used the affiliate link. I used the Belly Up code at checkout to save 15% off my order. And I know that my order will get to me post-haste because they use priority shipping. You pay a little bit more, but we can use the promo code to save a little bit. And try it if you haven't. You won't be disappointed.
And I have my Bad Santa on the way.
There we go.
I cannot wait because I want to find out what kind of cold brew that this blend makes.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. I wanted to tell you in the green room, and then I forgot. I was going to be like, "Hey, man, I just got a notification and I bought it."
I got it. As Dustin was jiving, I bought myself a bag of whole bean Bad Santa because I missed out on it last Christmas too. I felt so bad, but I'm like, you know what? And it came back in July. So Christmas in July. Thank you, Invader Coffee, for making Bad Santa available in July. But yes, great coffee. You're gonna pay a little bit more in shipping, but it comes via UPS in a matter of days, fresh to your door. And again, use the link in the description, which is our affiliation link, so you help our show a little bit, and you also save 15% off your order by using promo code BELLYUP, which also helps our network. So you use the Belly Up code BELLYUP at checkout.
Yeah.
You get 15% off your order. Use the affiliate link, you help our show. Use the promo code, you help Belly Up Sports. And Invader Coffee, you get the No Credentials Required seal of approval. Good old puppers. Love that dog. I love that dog.
Oh man, it's a callback to our Tuesday movie review series. No ticket required, which I cannot believe, Ryan. We are closing in on our final two movies.
Yes.
So if you are watching today and you're saying, what are they talking about? Go back into the archives, watch the movie reviews, find the show on our channel, and also head on over to the Belly Up YouTube channel and subscribe there if you haven't already. We got a bunch. Not only is our friend Kevin on a myriad of shows, which he mentioned, we got Brent Radlinsky, friend of the show. There are so many shows. If you love sports, you're going to find a Belly Up show for you. Get over there.
And by the way, for Tuesday's edition, I confirmed with him on Tuesday night, this man will be coming back.
Yes.
Join us for our review of The Natural.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Oh,
man, Chief returns.
It's one of the greatest clips. It is so. Oh man,
I love it. I love it. And then after that, we have one more week where we're going to review Remember the Titans, which is the classic from 1999. I think it was from 1999. If I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right, sir. I think if it wasn't 99, it was like 2000. I was going to say, yeah, it was right in that pocket.
And actually, fun fact: I actually drove by T.C. Williams High School when I visited the D.C. area back in 2001. It was like the month before 9/11. So,
oh geez,
yeah, it was definitely weird times back then.
Yeah, world back then.
Much different world back then.
Yeah.
Nobody was offended. Oh, you don't have to take your shoes off at the airport anymore. So there you go. That's nice. But I never had to do that because I got TSA Plus.
Ah, nice. All right.
That's right.
So what? I don't travel enough, but what's like TSA pre-check and TSA Plus? They got so many there, and then they got the Fast Pass.
So TSA pre-check, you don't have to stand in line with the rest of the plebs to take off your shoes, take out all that, take off your belt, all that stuff. It's a faster way to get through security, to get through the TSA check.
Yeah,
and you don't have to take off your shoes, you don't have to take off your belt. You can bring on your laptop and other stuff, but you still have to take your wallet and your keys and your cell phone out of your pocket and put it in. But otherwise, it's basically a thing to tell the government that you're not a terrorist.
Yeah,
basically. And you pay $85 for 5 years. so it's not too bad.
Not too bad. Do they just put you through that body scanner that they have,
You still have to go through the scanner, but you have to go through. You go through medical. You have to go through the metal detectors. You don't do the body scan because that's why I got it, because I get a little anxious during those checks.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to reduce my travel anxiety and just get TSA pre-check and take care of that. Nip that in the bud.
Yeah. Back in the day, I used to work at Albany Airport in a pizza place that no longer exists there. And the only perk of the job, I'll tell you, because it was, sometimes a rough job, but I had a badge that allowed me to cut the TSA line and get right to the front because, they're like, you got to get to work. I did have to go through security every day, take my shoes off, everything. I got used to it. But the anger that people would have at me because I would flash my badge and get to the front of the line, people would say, why does he get to cut the line? And they'd be all mad, and I would just turn around and shove my badge in their face. That was a perk of the job. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Well, this has been Travel Talk on No Credentials Required.
Yeah.
We're going to move back into our main wheelhouse, which is sports. When we're talking about the NFL, that's some news and notes from later in the week. I put in our Discord chat, which you can join. The link below in the description. Jump in. No trolls, no chuds, no self-promoting hoes. Especially with your OF accounts.
We get too many of those on Instagram. Every time I see, so-and-so liked your post, I'm like, oh.
Cool. Hot chick liked my post. Visit my OF. No.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, NFL news and notes. We had a couple of things happen this past week, especially later in the week after we went off air on Tuesday. First things first, Von Miller. He's back in the NFL. I thought he retired. I thought he announced I don't think he announced his retirement, but there were some rumblings that he would retire after last season. Played only 13 games with Buffalo last year after the ACL injury he suffered in 2023. But he's back, and he has signed a 1-year deal with the Washington Commanders, which is very interesting. And Drew and I, him being a Commanders fan, he was asking me if this will put them over the top. I said no. I said yes, but only if Terry McLaurin signs an extension, which is he's still, I wouldn't say holding out, but he's still. I think he was at OTAs, but he and his agent are talking with management and trying to get an extension with him. And if it wasn't for him, Jaden Daniels wouldn't have had the year that he had.
Of course.
But on the defensive side of the ball, I think the Commanders addressed an issue of their pass rush because Dan Quinn loves to stop the blitz every once in a while, but he wants a guy who can get home. And I know Von Miller, he's in his later years. He's in his, I want to say his mid-30s right now, mid to late 30s, but he's still got a motor on him. He had 6 sacks last year, but my feeling is that he wanted somebody who could get home to the quarterback. So Dustin, I don't know if you had the same feeling, or you just like, yeah, it's a nice little payday for a year. Well, I want to get
No, I think it's a good pickup for the Commanders because, like you said, they need somebody who can get home. And even though Von Miller, people are saying, oh, he's older. He's 36 years of age. I just looked it up.
Okay,
I did the real-time research.
I could see the keyboard. Typing away.
Yeah,
doing real-time research.
Yes, but I still think because he missed. Some people may look at this as a negative, but I'm kind of spinning it into a positive. He missed some time with some injuries, but you know what that means? It means less miles on his NFL body. So, if you take the old corollary, because people used to use it in the NBA all the time, and I think the comparison was apt. They would say, oh, when you tally up Kobe's playoff minutes, he's played like an extra season and a half because the Lakers were making the playoffs every year. And that stuff matters. So, Von Miller missing time to injury, he's probably in NFL body years slightly younger than his 36 years. And I agree with you. I think he proved in Buffalo that he still had a motor last year. And I think it could be I think it could be a plus for the Commanders because Bobby Wagner, as much as I love Bobby Wagner, and spoiler, you may hear about Bobby Wagner very shortly. But he is a tackling machine. He is a run stopper, but he is not a blitzing linebacker. So Dan Quinn needed somebody to come in. And Dan Quinn also, I think, if I remember his time at coaching in Atlanta and his tenure, the defensive coordinator of the Seahawks and the Cowboys, he'll give older players a chance, and I think older players have proven they can thrive within his system. So I like this.
Yeah, it's a nice little deal. 1 year. I'm not sure what the financials were. Maybe I'll do some real-time research on that right now. And look at Von Miller's contract on Spot Track.
Here we go.
Spot Track. It's awesome.
Here we go. So
no financials disclosed.
Oh,
okay. 1 year deal. No.
Okay.
There's no financials available at this point. But yeah, 1 year deal, and I'm sure it's incentive laden.
Probably,
especially if they reach the Super Bowl or he reaches certain marks. He's currently the active sacks leader in the National Football League. But here's the most important thing, I think. He's got 2 rings.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 2 rings. He's got a ring with the Rams, and he's got a ring with the
Broncos.
Broncos in 2016 in Super Bowl 50 of that infamous strip sack of Cam Newton, and Cam Newton was never the same again.
He really was. And for people, I know, we probably have some younger NFL fans, or we have people who forgot. Yes, Von Miller is more advanced in age by NFL standards, but if you forget how good he was and potentially still is in moments, go back and watch his Broncos tape. He's unbelievable.
It was. Other NFL signings, TJ Watt, Steelers defensive end. He is now the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, reaching an agreement with the Steelers on a 3-year, $123 million extension. Of that $123 million, $108 million is guaranteed.
Wow.
Yowza.
Yeah.
So I want to get your thoughts on this, Dustin. Does this help or does this hurt the Steelers?
Well, competitively, that guaranteed money, I mean, who knows how it's deferred and everything. It may hurt the Steelers, as far as being able to sign other talent or extend other people in the future. But here's the thing. They had to do this. TJ Watt, they had to ensure that he all but finishes his career as a Steeler, they had to extend him with the offseason that they have had. And they were saying that they're pushing their chips all in. I don't think it's going to be enough to get there. Really, I mean, you're tying your hopes to Aaron Rodgers, and you got DK Metcalf. But that aside, he was the face. If you said that you were going all in and then you did not extend TJ Watt, Pittsburgh fans would have been very, very, very angry. This deal makes sense. I would argue he is the face of their franchise. He is the identity of their franchise. They needed to get this done. This move makes sense in a offseason that I feel is a head-scratching one for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I totally agree. They definitely had to get this deal done. The contract doesn't start until next season.
Okay.
So it's a 3-year extension all the way up till 2028, starting in 2026. They do have an out after 2027, where it only costs them $10 million in dead cap money. So it's a smart deal, that's for sure. But I have to wonder, with the Steelers kind of going all, like you mentioned, they're going all in. They acquired DK Metcalf for a 2nd-round pick, and then some for next year's draft from Seattle. They signed Aaron Rodgers. We don't know what he's going to look like. He's going to be 41 years old. He'll turn 42 during the season. So, I mean, I guess the one advantage of the fact that Rodgers is playing in Pittsburgh is that they're on natural grass and not that god-awful turf at MetLife Stadium. Yikes. but that's the thing, though, is if what happens after if this year is a complete crap burger? What does this mean? Do they blow up the offense? So they get rid of Tomlin? Do they get rid of Khan? Even though they just signed,
They signed him to an extension.
They signed Omar Khan signed an extension with the Steelers, and so did Mike Tomlin after not this past season, but the season before. He signed an extension. So if this experiment fails with trying to rebuild the offense with Metcalf and Rodgers for a season, what if they don't go? What?
Rodgers.
What if they don't go to the Super Bowl? What if they miss the playoffs entirely? I mean, what if they finish 9-8 and they miss out on the playoffs? Does that mean that this experiment's over? Are they going to try to run it back with Aaron Rodgers? I mean, this deal, and we already know that the Steelers are have the most expensive defense in the NFL this season, and this just tells you where the motivation of the Steelers lies. It doesn't lie in their offense. Their identity is not in their offense. It never has been. Let's face it, even with Terry Bradshaw, Lynn Swann, Franco Harris, all those guys in the offense, that identity has always been since the 1970s for the last 50 years has been the defense. And this
steel curtain. Yeah.
This contract still just shows it. They build their team around their defense and let the chips fall where they may on offense.
And they've always done that to some degree, even when Ben Roethlisberger was there, and that offense, much to my chagrin, was cooking a little bit. They still had, like, Joey Porter was there, James Harrison was there, all these defensive stalwarts, Ryan Clark at his peak with the Steelers. The Steelers, I agree with you completely, always a defensive identity team.
Yeah. James says in the comments, let's not forget the biggest NFL news. Eagles got their Super Bowl rings yesterday. James. Anywho.
Do we have the functionality where we can mute a comment? No, I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm just joking. I'm just joshing. I'll bring that phrase back.
One more quick piece of NFL news before we go to our hot food takes and we wrap up the show. This meme came out. I put in our Discord about Shedeur Sanders, and we kind of went, I wouldn't say full ham in regards to Shedeur Sanders during the NFL draft, but the way his draft stock just fell because everybody thought he was going to be a projected first rounder. Mel Kiper Jr., looking at you, pal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that meltdown he had on Saturday, but was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. They have 5 guys in their quarterback room right now. But Robert Griffin III, who is currently a free agent, I believe, he's doing his own thing out because he got let go by the 4-letter network, as did Sam Ponder, who had her first interview after she got let go with I can't remember her name, Steele.
Samantha Steele?
No. Hang on.
I don't know what I was.
Sage Steele.
Sage. Okay.
Yeah. So she had an interview with Sage Steele on her podcast. But Robert Griffin III said this about Shedeur Sanders, and I quote, he says, and he put this on Twitter, he says, all Shedeur has done is put in the work and be a good teammate. No complaining about reps. No complaining about where he is on the depth chart. Just work. Does this kind of change your opinion about Shedeur Sanders, or is it kind of a wait and see thing with him?
To me, it's a wait and see. But I also want to say you got to give credit where credit is due. Then Shedeur, seemingly from this account, hats off to him because he's got a lot swirling around him simply because of who his father is, and I think we would all agree that obviously, whatever the cause was, whatever certain things came out during the draft, he did not do any favors. But you know what? It sounds like he's going about kind of repairing that image and turning people's perception of him around. And you know what? I also have to give a little credit to somebody that I've been very critical of on this very program, and that is the head coach of the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton. Sean Payton, during the draft, was a Shedeur defender. He said, I know Shedeur. I've known him since going way back. He will work very hard. He will do his best to prove everyone wrong. He will put in the work on the field. And guess what? From this account, sounds like Sean Payton was right. So I'm hat tip to both of the gentlemen. Shedeur for being mature enough to be like, hey, I'm just going to come in, do what the team asked me to do, and get it going. And let the chips fall where they may. I mean, let's call it what it is. He's got a shot to start in Cleveland, depending on how things go. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Joe Flacco will open the season as a starter. But I mean, you don't know, and Shedeur is clearly making the most of this opportunity. So credit to Shedeur, and also, as much as I hate to do it sometimes, credit to Sean Payton for saying this because he was right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think a lot of the hype surrounding Shedeur was by Dion.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that both of his sons could be first-round picks. It's like, I know you love your kid. Like,
yeah,
I get too. If I were a father, I'd be the same way. I'm like, yeah, my kid's the best. Is this, and then, but
oh yeah,
but you have to look at outside evaluations. And as much as Dion pumped up Shedeur's tires, as much as Mel Kiper Jr. pumped up his tires, and to see the fall that he had, falls like this can be humbling. And football, sports, any kind of thing, any kind of activity where you try to achieve, it humbles you. It humbles you, and it can humble you very quickly. And I think Shedeur, I gotta give him his props as well. He's putting in the work, as Robert Griffin III said. He's putting in the work. He's not complaining about reps. He's just doing his thing. We'll see where the chips fall in terms of where he lands on the depth chart come the end of training camp, where they hit the 53. I have a feeling that it'll be Flacco, Sanders, and Dylan, Dylan, who will be on the depth chart come week 1, and you'll have Kenny Pickett probably be on the practice roster, which is that says a lot, but there's also cuts and everything. But yeah, it's refreshing to see that somebody, and I gotta say that I gotta go a little bit of a rant about draft busts and whatnot. I saw a thing on Twitter from trying to remember the account, and I quote tweeted them on this because it just drove me nuts. I'm looking for it, but they were saying that Mason Graham might be a bust. And here it is, Polymarket, who said on July 9th, says there's a concern that Browns defensive tackle Mason Graham is trending towards bust status due to his small size, short arms, and being, quote, severely out of shape at OTAs. Will the Browns regret taking Mason Graham instead of Hunter? And I quote tweeted it, and I said, yes, let's call a rookie a bust. He's got, scrolls down, a smaller stature and short arms. Also what quantifies as out of shape. Let's judge someone before he takes one damn snap in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And I think the same applies here to Shedeur Sanders. We I know people, Snowman talking to you, are a little bit rough on him, but I'm hoping it's out of a place of love, and he develops into a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. But to label someone a bust when they haven't even taken a snap at NFL, one snap in the NFL, is just, it's unfair. It's unfair.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
I couldn't agree more.
All right. Rant over. We're going to move on to our Saturday staple, and that is hot food takes. And no, we will not be talking about burgers. We will be talking about desserts. And we've covered this topic before. We covered pie versus cake. Which one do we prefer? But this is a fatal four-way. I'm going to actually change this headline to dessert fatal four-way. Because I approached Dustin this morning via text. And I said, all right, well, how about this for hot food takes? Fatal four-way between cake, pie, brownies, and cookies in terms of dessert. So it's kind of a power ranking, but it's also kind of a fatal four-way to see which ones we would prefer, or which one comes out the champ of desserts. So, my esteemed co-host, I'm going to start with you for your dessert fatal 4-way. Who's the champ? Cake, pie, brownies, or cookies?
All right. I'm kind of reacting to this one because it's tough. Because I like aspects of all of them, but I can't. So here we go. I am going to put in a surprising turn of events, almost as it even happened. Cake is in fourth place for me because when cake is done really well, it is delicious. But the problem is there are a lot of things where a cake can go sideways. It could be dry. There could be too much frosting. There could be, there's a lot of things. There could be that frosting where you still kind of taste the sugar in there, like it's grainy. If a cake is made well, cake takes the whole thing. Cake is a champion, but there's too much variability. Okay, there's too much variability. So I'm putting cake. Cake is the first eliminated in this fatal 4-way, even though I love you. Mm-hmm. Pie, similarly, because there's so many different kinds of pie. Now, blueberry pie with the crumb topping could take this whole thing for me. I love blueberries. They're an obsession. My mom's apple pie would win hands down. I miss most, other than the fact that I miss my mother every day. I wish I could talk to her. The second thing that I miss the most is her apple pie, which shout out to you, Trace, if you're watching. And I know you're not because it's not a movie review episode, but I still love you. But she did a great job making mom's apple pie, and it brought me right back. It was so good. She nailed it. But not every apple pie is my mother's. So, that's the thing. You get too much variability because I've had some bad supermarket apple pies. I don't like cherry pie. Sorry, Janie Lane. I don't.
And sorry, Warrant.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. I thought Janie Lane was the lead singer of Warren, but I might have missaid his name. I cannot remember. But
it's so good.
That's the thing. I don't like rhubarb. I don't like strawberry and pie. So it's tough. There's too many pies that I don't like. So I'm putting pie at number 3. Number 2. Here's where it gets complicated. All right. Yeah. Number 2. I like a fudge style brownie. That's my go-to. Fudge style brownies. If I prefer cakey or fudgy brownies all day. So the brownies have to be fudgy. If it's cakey, they're a little dry and crumbly sometimes, depending. It's hard to nail. So I'm putting brownies at number 3 with a big caveat. It's got to be fudge. That means cookies are the champ. There are so many varieties of cookies, and it spurned another idea for hot food takes for me, Ryan, which I feel like the well's been running dry, but you spurned an idea. I'll talk
down quick.
I'll talk to you after the show.
Yeah.
But cookies are number 1 because they have some of the other problems that the food groups that I laid out have, or the foods that I laid out have. There's variability in cookies too, but when done right, very few things beat a wonderful chocolate chip cookie, especially fresh ones. Otis Spunkmeyer, if any of you out there went to Shaker High School, you know what I'm talking about. The Otis Spunkmeyer cookies, warmed up, delicious. Who doesn't love their mom's chocolate chip cookies? It's one of the first things. Cookie Monster is right. All right, Cookie Monster cookies are the best. Then you got the store-bought varieties. Then you got, Half Moon cookies. You got peanut butter scotchies. I don't like oatmeal raisin cookies, but I know a lot of people do. Cookies, there are so many different kinds. The peanut butter cookies with the peanut butter cups or Hershey Kisses in the front. Christmas cookies are an institution. Everything. Cookies are number 1. If I have to choose one, it's cookies all day, and I pass the baton to you, sir.
All right. So what got my thinking was, which goes best with ice cream? What goes best with ice cream?
Oh, that's a good way to approach it. I like that.
Cake? Not really, because cake by itself is good. Like, especially a good cake, like a really good chocolate cake, Black Forest cake, red velvet, even in cupcake form. I mean, we first bring cupcakes in this.
Oh,
cupcakes are really just mini, just
they are. We brought them in, yeah.
So cake that goes in the bottom. The first ones to be eliminated in this gauntlet match. I keep changing it from Battle Royal to Fatal 4-Way to Gauntlet.
It's fine.
Anywho, cake, you're at the bottom. Pie. Actually, I should say pie goes to the bottom because there's not a whole lot of varieties of pie that go well with ice cream. I mean, apple pie,
Apple pie does.
pie
Yeah.
a la mode, apple pie with like a really good vanilla ice cream. Stewart's Philly vanilla is absolutely top notch.
Mhm.
So a nice pie a la mode with some vanilla ice cream, because you really can't do pies with chocolate or straw. I mean, some straw. I could see you could say strawberry, like a rhubarb pie with some strawberry ice cream would actually pretty good, I think. But fun fact: on 4th of July, I actually had rhubarb for the first time.
Oh man, what'd you
It
think?
was actually all right. It was all
All
right.
right, all right.
It was one of my brother's neighbors are originally from Poland.
Oh.
So she made so the I can't remember her name all of a sudden, but I don't want to name names, but she made a rhubarb like coffee cake,
Oh, okay.
like a crumb cake. It was really good. It was pretty good. I
Mhm.
had rhubarb for the first time. So there we go. So pie goes at the bottom because there's not a whole lot of variety of ice creams you can make with different pies, unless it's a chocolate cream pie. That's next level right there. Although I will say hostess cherry pies are delicious. So pie, then cake, then it comes to brownies and cookies. I put cookies in second.
Okay.
I put cookies in second because you can have a nice dish of ice cream with a couple of cookies, Oreos, chocolate chips. I know you don't like oatmeal raisin, but have you ever tried oatmeal chocolate chip?
Oatmeal chocolate chip I have had. They're good.
Okay.
They're good.
Okay. Maybe in the Christmas, during Christmas, you get Snickerdoodles, which is one of my favorite
Oh,
cookies in the
love
world.
Snickerdoodle.
Have
Have
it
you
with
had
a real-
oatmeal scotchies, sir?
Oh, maybe I have. I'm not really sure.
That's oatmeal cookies with butterscotch chips. Those are
I
also
had a
very
feeling.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cookies number 2, but number 1 with a bullet, because you can mix it up any way you can between ice cream and brownies. There's nothing better than a hot fudge brownie sundae. Nothing better.
A strong contender.
Nothing better than that. So that's my reasoning for which dessert comes out on top. And yes, like you said, Dustin, you want your brownies to be nice and fudgy. You don't want them to be cakey, because they come out dry and it's not the same. But a nice fudge brownie with a big old scoop of ice cream does the trick every time for me. That's why brownies are number 1. That's why my brownies are the grand champ of
There we
dessert
go.
for me. All right, so that's been our edition of Hot Food Takes. No burgers for dessert. All right, we're going to close our show with our favorite athletes to wear the number 53. And again, this is our 53rd episode of 2025. We're going by athlete. We're going by our favorite athletes to correspond with the number of the episode. And this is the 53rd episode, so we're going to go real quick to wrap up the show. Dustin, actually, you know what? I'm going to start. I like to lead off with Hot Food Takes.
Yeah.
I'll start off with my number 53. And my number 53, he's not a New York Jet. He's a football player, but he's not a New York Jet, which is fine. But he's a guy I grew up watching in my household. He wore number 53 for the New York Giants. He was one of the best running backs in history of the franchise. That's Mr. Harry Carson. 9-time Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer, won the Super Bowl with the Giants in 1986, was in those dog breakfast years with the Giants in the mid-1970s, all the way through to when Bill Parcells started with the team in 1982 or 1981. But he became a pillar of that defense with Lawrence Taylor, Leonard Marshall, bunch of those guys who wound up being stalwarts with the Giants in those days, and Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick's defensive unit. And I was so happy. My parents, I remember my dad's being so happy when the Giants won the Super Bowl in 1986, because at that time, Harry Carson was the longest tenured Giant. That was his 11th season with the team, and he actually was a Pro Bowler that year. He was also all on the second team for All Pro, but he was such an elite linebacker during those days. 2 fumble recoveries in 1986, 2 sacks. Like his stats didn't stand out, but he was a tackling machine. He was made the right plays at the right time. And that's what made him such a trusted member of that defense with Bill Parcells of the Big Blue Giants defense, the Big Blue defense at the time. Retired after the 1988 season. But this is career stats: 11 interceptions, 14 fumble recoveries, 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown, 19 sacks. And again, his defensive stats don't look sexy on at least one side of the ball, one side with the interceptions and fumble recoveries and sacks, but the guy could tackle like there was no tomorrow. And he was just a stalwart on that Giants defense in the Parcells years. And I believe his number is retired for the New York Giants retired his number. But yeah, Hall of Famer, well-deserved, 9-time Pro Bowler, won the Super Bowl with the Giants in 1986, was the longest tenured member of that team at the time. So that's my favorite athlete to wear number 53. How about you, Dustin?
Well, I'm sure Uncle Al loves your pick, if
sure
he
he
is
does.
watching or if he watches the replay. My pick, 53 was very hard. Kevin said it. You said it.
Yeah.
I said it. It's tough. So this, I'm going a little atypical. You're going to have to get the Homer button ready, Ryan. And you're going to need it for next show.
All right. I'll play it. Homer alert.
So I initially thought about picking Bobby Abreu because Bobby Abreu wore number 53, and because of the home run derby, I brought him up multiple times on the show recently, so I thought it would be funny. But then I was thinking, no, I can't pick Bobby Abreu because it wasn't that I disliked Bobby Abreu, but I didn't have like a love for Bobby Abreu, and it's supposed to be our favorite to wear number 53. And this one's a little atypical for me. It is someone who is still playing. It is someone who, as a matter of fact, is very early into his career, and there's some debate whether he should be extended with the Seattle Seahawks. I will be expecting big things from him regarding the pass rush this year. We may have talked about it a little bit on Seahawks sessions last night. My pick for number 53 is Boye Mafe with the Seattle Seahawks, linebacker. His rookie season was 2022, so he is still in the early stages of his career. But for me, as a Seahawks fan, what really put him on the map is we saw what he could do when healthy in 2023. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was Pete Carroll's last season, and as head coach. And one of the glaring needs that the Seahawks needed was a pass rush. They didn't have one. And in a season where the Seahawks pass rush was kind of teethless, Boye Mafe was the teeth. He got 9 sacks. And you really started to wonder, is Boye Mafe going to break out? And I just had a like for Boye Mafe almost from the beginning. I was like, you know what? I think this guy can be good if he stays healthy and everything else. Now, if memory serves, he did miss some time as well with some injuries. He had 6 sacks last year. And I think if healthy, under year 2 of Mike Macdonald, he could start to break out because the Seahawks made some other signings to kind of bolster that pass rush. And, Byron Murphy was getting double teamed last year. So we'll see year 2 of Mike Macdonald. Can Boye Mafe really turn it on? But I'm excited to see how the rest of his career pans out. And I hope he brings a pass rushing elite to the Seahawks rushing attack next year. And I hope big things. He's still young, and I'm ready. I will get my Boye Mafe jersey for this year.
Got a couple more comments in the comments section. James Enfield saying Pathmark oatmeal cookies are the best. I remember Pathmark from my days in New Jersey. I believe they're still around. We got to get the Homer alert for James as well. It says Zach Bond, Eagles D doesn't turn around without him. That's very true. He also said 53 was Joe Pavelski's first number with the Sharks before he switched over to 8.
I had forgotten that.
I forgot that too. But all right, we're going to get ourselves out of here and enjoy the rest of our Saturday. But before we do that, we just want to remind you to please follow us on social media. Here's where you can find us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. You can also find the rest of our podcasts and written articles like Kevin's on bellyupsports.com. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, our YouTube channel, and Podbean. And also hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube again, so you're notified when live shows go up, when video clips go up, when regular old show announcements go up. On the podcast side, again, rate, review, comment. We're still got to figure out the Spotify link, what's going on with them. Hopefully we'll get it identified and we'll get shows back running up and running on Spotify. But give us a rating. 5-star rating would be helpful. Leave us a review. And again, leave us a comment on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel, on the replay on Belly Up Sports, on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. Subscribe to them as well, so you can get our full shows after we've gone live. So thank you for joining us again on No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. We'll be back on Tuesday with our review of The Natural and more with our tribal chief, Wise El Jefe. But in the meantime, for Dustin, I'm Ryan. Thanks for joining us on No Credentials Required. Have a great weekend. Have a safe and happy weekend. We'll see you back on Tuesday.
Good morning, everybody.